Hi everyone, I'm Amrit Suhail. Welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. In this session, we will learn about PySpark Dataframe. If you want more amazing tech-related videos, do like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay tuned. PySpark Dataframe. Big data is a skill set that probably all data scientists have at this moment. That takes us to Spark, one of the most popular tools for working with big data. Spark has recently made a DataFrame API available for data scientists to use, replacing its former heavy reliance on RDD manipulations. So let's quickly look at today's video's agenda. I will start this session with the introduction to PySpark. Next, we will understand PySpark Dataframe. Then we will have a look at its features. After that, we will learn the use of data frames. And then I will show you guys how to create data frame from various sources, and will finish off this video with two amazing use cases which will help you understand data frames better. Introduction to PySpark. Python's PySpark provides an interface for Apache Spark. It enables you to create Spark application using Python APIs and gives you access to the PySpark shell, enabling interactive data analysis in a distributed setting. Most of the Spark's functionality, including Spark, SQL, DataFrame, streaming, MLIB, and Spark Core, are supported by PySpark. PySpark is a useful language to learn to build more scalable analysis and pipelines. If you are already familiar with Python and tools like Pandas, with this, let's move on to our next topic now. That is, what is PySpark Dataframe? A distributed grouping of rows with named columns is known as dataframe. In layman's terms, it is equivalent to an Excel sheet with column headers or a table in a relational database. It has several traits in common with RDD. We can create a data frame or RDD only once. We cannot modify it. After applying transformation, a data frame or RDD can be transformed. In other words, a task is not carried out until an action is taken. Both the RDD and the data frame have a distributed design. I'm sure you might be wondering why exactly we need data frames. Now, let's discuss that. Data frames features: distributed, lazy evolution, immutable. Coming to distributed, data frames are distributed data collection that are arranged into rows and columns in PySpark. A data frame has the name and the type for each column. Data frames are comparable to conventional database tables in that they are organized and brief. The next feature is lazy evolution. Although Scala may be executed lazily and Spark is written in Scala, Spark's default execution mode is lazy. This means that up until the action is invoked, no operation over an RDD, data frame or data set are ever computed. Next is immutable. Immutable storage includes data frame, data sets, and RDDs, that is resilient distributed data sets. The word immutability means inability to change. When used in reference to an object, it signifies that its state cannot be changed once it is formed. Compared to Python, these data frames are immutable and provide less flexibility when manipulating rows and columns. So let's go ahead and create some data frames. Let's start the demo. I will demonstrate how to create a data frame in PySpark by using Google Colab rather than PySpark shell, because I find it easier to work with. So guys, let's go ahead and start the demo. Firstly, we need to have Spark configured on our device to use the PySpark shell. For this, you need to open your command prompt and then type in this command to install PySpark, that is pip install PySpark. After installation, so now here we are ready to get started. We can create our data frame. Now firstly, we will have to set up PySpark. For that, we have to use the command. Let's see, installing PySpark. Let's get to the code. pip install PySpark. Let's execute the command. We have to wait for a minute, I guess. It will take some time. Let it install. Now, as you can see that PySpark is setting up. So let's wait. It's all set up. Now we can move on to creating an example data frame for department and student. So the first step is to import the PySpark SQL from PySpark SQL dot import. From PySpark dot SQL import. So now we should execute this. After the import is successful, I'm going to create a student database using the row function. So we will write create a table for students. Now we will go to code and write students equal row, and then we will write the elements inside the row. Okay, as so we will write inside first name and last name. Now email, age, roll number. Now in student we have columns name as first name, last name, email, age and roll number. So now we will create data for some students. We will write student1 equals, then inside the brackets we will write student, inside the bracket we will write John. Here we will write John, that is the first name, then the Amaral, which is the last name. Then we will write the email, John at the rate of simply.n, and then we will write the age, that is 21, and then we will write the roll number, that is 15423. Let's execute it. Again we will do the same for the rest of them, like we will just copy this one, then paste, then we will change the specific first name, last name, email, ID, etc. That's student 2, 3, that is 4, 5. We have to change the first name of every serial number. Second name is Cassie. There is no specific last name, I guess, so we have to write none. Email address of Cassie, that is Cassie at the rate of simply.n, and the age 22, and the roll number 14526. So we have to do the same for the rest of them. You just have to change the first name, last name, email, age and roll number. Let's come to student 3, that is Lois with the first name, Lopez with the last name, and email is Lois at the name of simply.in, and the age is 19. Roll number, that is 12343. Coming to student 4th, that is Jack with the surname Torres. So Jack Torres has his email as Jack, sorry, that has its email none. The age is 23 and the roll number is 13536. Coming to next, that is Michael, and the last name is Jackson, of course. Michael Jackson, what a combination. So, and Michael's email is michael at the rate of simply.in, and the age is 20, and the roll number is 16534. Yeah, now let's execute it. As you can see that all these students data are in the same format as given: first name, last name, email, age and roll number. So let us create some department data as well. And again we will use the row function. So department1 equal to row, then inside the bracket we will write. So starting from department 1, as we wrote for the student, we will write for the department. Department 1 equals row, then inside the brackets ID is 001, name maybe math or any subject you want to take. ID is 001, let's take it as math. Sorry, MATH, math, yeah. Then we will copy this and paste all of them again. We just have to change the serial number, ID and name of the department. That's 3, 4. And you can name as it like you want. I will name it in English, then physics, and then chemistry. Now suppose you want to look at the values of student 2. So we will use the print command that will print in bracket student 2. This is for a specific command. If you want to look for the student 3, then you can write print under the in the bracket student 3. But because it is student 2, the information is for Cassie. So you can see here the values of row student 2. Let's create department now. So create department with students instances. You can now see how easy it is to use Python. So with that, we can just write department with student 1, because we are creating department. It is as same as we created the student. Now it's for department, so it will be student with student 1 equal to row in bracket department is equal to department1, department1, then student is equal to student1, comma student1, comma student2, bracket closed. Now you just have to copy this and paste it, and you just have to change the serial number of the student and the department only. I will give you an example, like a department with student1 is already written, so I wrote department with student2, department with student3, then coming here department with student4. So we will also change the number here 2, and then department 3, and now department 4. And we also have to change the serial number of students. As you can see, I have created some instances which shows us the students each department consists of. We can also see details of a particular student from a department. I will show you that also. Let's execute first this. So now I will show you how it is done. So you just need to execute the command with print in bracket department with student. Let's assume student 3. We are taking the information of student 3. Student 1. Now dot roll number in bracket closed. So let's execute it. We get the roll number which is 13536. You can see. Here it is 13536. Now finally we can create our data frame. Let us create an array of sequence of instances for our data frame. So let's create data frame. Coming to code, and we will write department with students is equal to department with student1 in bracket department student1, okay, it's equal to comma department with student2 and then department with student3. Here department 1 consists of student 1 and 2, and department 2 consists of student 3. 4, department 3 consists of student 4 and 5. Then we need to create Spark context using from PySpark dot context import Spark context. Spark context. Then we will write from PySpark dot SQL dot session import Spark session. Then SC is equal to, that is Spark context, SC Spark context dot get or create and brackets, then Spark is equal to Spark session. Under bracket we will write SC, that is Spark context. After this we can create the data frame. So let's execute it first. After the execution we can create the data frame. We will create data frame df is equal to Spark, because we are creating data frame, so we have to write Spark dot create data frame, that is df, under bracket department with students, department with students. So now let's execute this. We can display our data frame using display function also. So let's go to text. Now display data frame, or now you can go to code and write display df in bracket. So now as you see, we have the structure of department, which consists of 2 strings ID and name, and the student array, which consists of 3 strings, first name, last name and email, and 2 integer values, which are age and roll number. Now as you know how to create a data frame, let us move on to top YouTuber use cases. Here we have the data of all the top YouTube channels, and it is the CSV format, data frame from CSV format. So I'm going to show you how it is done. Firstly, we will import Spark session from PySpark SQL using the same command I am writing, from PySpark.sql import Spark session. Spark session. Now let's initiate the Spark session to create a data frame by executing the following command, that is Spark is equal to Spark session dot builder dot app name, under the in the bracket create data frame from CSV file. Create data frame from CSV file. Dot get or create, then bracket close, dot get or create, bracket close. So now as the Spark session is initiated, we can use the spark.read command to read the CSV file and convert it into our data frame, which we have named as yt_df. So spark.read, it should be here .csv, in the bracket path equals to YouTubers just have to copy path and yeah. So here as you see, I have provided a path to the CSV file. You can do this by uploading it on Colab. Let me show you how it is done. So as it's uploaded, now we can right click on the file and copy the path into our spark.read command. Otherwise, if you are doing it in the PySpark shell, you can directly copy the path of the file from the local directory. Oh, it's not working, I think. Yeah, a small step. It will work for sure now. It's working. So go to text, and now we can try out some commands. Go to code. This yt_df.show. Get close. So now as you can see here, we have the country, channel name, category to which they belong, username, followers, likes, etc. and many more number column. As you can see, only top 20 rows are displayed here. So now what to do if we have to look at the total number of records in our data frame? We can use the count function. So you can see here, it's the total number of records in our data frame. Go to code. We will use the count function. That is yt, that is YouTube underscore df dot count, bracket close. So here we have total 859 records or rows in our data frame. Now if you want to see the columns, you can see it using the df.show function. As you can see the slider, I can move around to look at various column. But what if you want to see just the name of column separately? You will use the same command I am typing, and there are a lot of columns. We can always use the command function. So it's executed. You can see we get here we have all the column listed out now. Here we can simply count the number of columns, but for more complex data frame with lots of columns, we can use the length function on columns. So here is the column listed out. We can simply count the number. Let's have the look at the data, and let's try some complex column. Go to code, type len, because we are use the length function on columns. len length yt YouTube underscore df dot column. Let's execute this. So now you can see there are 22 columns in our data frame. Now if you want to know the structure of the data frame, like names of all columns with your data, type then using print schema. Function allows us to go through the detailed structure of our data frame. It specifies each column with its data type. yt underscore df dot print schema, bracket close. Let's execute this. You can see the types of columns have been mentioned here, and you can see nullable as either true or false, because in some data frames maybe some of the values are supposed to be null. Moving on further, what if you want to describe a particular column? It can be done using other function. So let's go on to code. I will show you that. YouTube underscore df dot describe. Dot describe. In bracket, username. Username. Just a second. Just have to write this, or you can just copy here and paste it there. Username dot show and bracket closed, dot show, bracket closed. Let's execute it. As you can see, the column username has count is equal to 857, that's 857, which means it has total 857 records. That means it has two null values in it, that is checked, because we already checked total number of record, which is 859. Here mean and standard deviation are null as we have string values. The minimum value is 1 million dance, and the maximum is kids Diana with the flower symbol at beginning. So here the minimum and maximum value of a string are set based on alphabetical order. Let's use the describe function on one more column. Say it has followers, it has numeric function. So let's see. I did the same thing. I just copied and paste the function again. We just have to remove username and add follower, and now execute the command. Now also count of total record is 857 and mean value is approx 49.5 million something, and the standard deviation is near about 28 million. We just have to copy the command and paste again. You can see the followers, and we just have to copy that follower. YT underscore df dot describe followers dot show. We are using describe function here. On one more column, say it as followers. It has a numeric values, so let's see. Here also count of total records 857 and mean value is approx to 49.5 million something, and the standard deviation is near about 28 million, and the million, which is I suppose wrong compared to the mean, says some strategy video game, which is a string. So I think there are some wrong entries in this particular data set, so you can always check on for mistakes and miss entries in data frame too. Now what if you want all the channel names and to what categories they belong to? So we can just select out those particular column using the select function that I am writing, YouTube underscore df dot select. Going back to the data set, from we can copy that channel name. Just copy and paste here, channel name. Yep. So now category dot show. We just have to go there, category, good, copy and paste. That's a shortcut you can use every time. It can save you time also. So category dot show, and then we will execute this and we will see. Here you can see the data of two columns separately. So now we can just look out which channel belong to which category. Now suppose we want to filter out some info from our data frame, like we only want to have channels with followers over 1 billion. So we can do this using filter function. So let's go to code and use filter function with yt underscore df dot filter in bracket yt underscore df dot followers, and you just have to write how many oh my god, 1 billion, count is greater than 1 billion dot show. So let's execute this. Here we can see all the channels in our data frame where the followers count is greater than 1 billion. What if we want to count the number of channel with 1 billion followers shown in by above command? So instead of using show function, we will use count with filter. So let's copy this and we just have to paste it here, and dot count, because we are using count with filter. Let's execute the program. So the total number of YouTube channels with more than 1 billion subscribers or followers, we can say are 36. We can also filter out more than one condition like this. For that, we will use the function. This again the same function, but you just have to remove some of the things, that is from, and writing that again. But instead of filter, you have to write likes and greater than 1 billion. YT underscore df dot filter yt underscore df dot followers. Now yt df followers is 1 billion dot show. Let's go back to the data set and likes. Let's copy this and paste it there. Instead of followers, we just have to write like, as I said. So just paste it here. Let's execute the program. Here are all the YouTube channels with followers. Count is over 1 billion and the number of likes on those channels is more than 1 billion. Now what if you want to arrange the record in our data frame in ascending or descending order? We can use order by function to arrange our data frame in ascending or descending order. With this function I am writing yt underscore df dot order by, in bracket, just have to write channel name dot show. Let's execute this. As you can see, data in our data frame is arranged in ascending order. All the records are arranged in ascending order for column with string data type. It's arranged alphabetically in ascending order. Now we will try on running some SQL queries on our data frame. First, let us create a temporary table using SQL queries. Go to code and write yt YouTube underscore df dot register temp table, in bracket YouTube underscore table, YouTube table. Let's execute it. Let's see. Oh, I think there is a mistake. Let's recorrect it. yt underscore df dot register. Okay, yeah, I forgot to put underscore YouTube underscore table. Now let's execute it. Now it's running. So now we can use the command. Let's go to code, that is spark dot sql, in the bracket select and should be from YouTube underscore table, spark.sql, select from underscore table. It's running. Okay. To show all the content of the table, we can also select the particular column using the next command, that is show. Let's execute it. So you can see data from a particular column of the table is fetched out. Here you can see every specific column and the table. So let's go to the code. Let's do a command to see how to run a particular column using spark.sql. Select username from YouTube underscore table and dot show and bracket closed. Let's run this program. So yeah, it's working. You can see the data from this column of the table. Let's wind up the demo session with this. I hope you understand how to create data frame with top 10 functions. So with this, we have come to the end of this session on PySpark. I hope you found the session both interesting and exciting. If you have any questions about any of the topic covered in this session, or if you need the resources used in this session, please let us know in the comment section below. And our team of experts will be pleased to respond as soon as possible. Thank you until next time. This is Umra from the Simplilearn team, signing off. Continue to learn and stay safe.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.